All right, so AEW didn't waste any time signing Tommaso Ciampa. I hope they don't waste his talents, because WWE, there's so much going on, and they got a lot going on to AEW. So I don't mind him being over there, but it's like, do something with him, you know? But yeah, we had a lot of number one contender stuff going on. Kris Statlander defended her belt. So yeah, before we get to the video, like and subscribe, and let's get to it. All right, so we start off with Kenny Omega versus Rocky Romero. This match didn't really go too long. Rocky Romero was showboating in the corner, you know. Then Kenny Omega took advantage and hit him with a freaking knee in the back of the neck, and it's just like, why would you do that? And then he put him against the rope, bang, knee trigger. Then one winged angel. Wow, 1, 2, 3. That's it. That ended that, and then he gets into the mic. And Tony Schiavone gets into the ring, and you know, whoever's on top, he mentions that I guess there's like a top 5 for contenders. So everybody who's in these matches, they're all fighting to be the number 1 contender, I'm guessing. And this is all gonna go down. Whoever wins, I think a match between, I don't know, there's so many matches going on. So whoever, I think it's gonna go down to the Australia, when they go to Australia, and there's going to be a number 1 contenders match right there to determine who's going to fight MJF at Revolution. So yeah, let's see. So they get to that, and then oh yeah, he mentions the main event too, also with Andrade and Swerve, which would make sense. That we did get the outcome that we should have gotten, because remember when Andrade attacked Kenny Omega, but then all of a sudden they couldn't use him? Yeah, we all remember that one. But yeah, so yeah, bringing that back. So good. We're not forgetting about that. Then Hangman comes out, right, and tells Kenny he'll be the next champion, not him. He says, not Andrade, not Swerve, not you. That brings out Swerve. Swerve comes out and he says, doesn't matter who he has to stomp out. you know, he's a psycho. You know, he says stuff like that. And then Kenny says, look, Swerve, looks like Swerve is looking for a fight. And he smiles, right? And then Don Callis comes out, and it's just like, everybody's booing this guy. And he said, oh, Andrade's going to win tonight. In the main event. And then Kenny Omega at the end, he's got into the mic, he just, you know what, there's no one here to protect you. He just chases him down, and then that ended that. That was hilarious. Like the way he just ran away, he just chased them, and it was just like they were just gone after that. Like the camera just panned to Kenny running, and then all of a sudden it went back to the stage and they were gone. That's it. All right, then we get a match between Jon Moxley and Ace Austin. I don't really know who this guy is. I know he's been in a Ring of Honor. I don't really watch Ring of Honor. I don't even know where to go. Maybe I can just catch it on YouTube, but I don't make time because I don't have the time. But I watch some clips of Ace. He looks pretty good. He was in there with Jon Moxley. He held his own. You know, it was a really good match. A lot of back and forth between the two. But Jon Moxley wins. Of course, don't want to knock the kid, but hey, I guess this was just a showing, just to show him off against the crowd. So maybe there's going to be some more of him on TV. Like, I'm pretty sure the hardcore fans know who he is. But I'm just saying, for people who's watching AEW Dynamite who don't know who he is, just to get him on there. So maybe we'll see more of him in Dynamite, in Collision. I'm not sure, but yeah, after the post match, Konosuke comes out and he signals that he wants the belt, right? So he gets out the ring, and then Doyle and Davis attacks Jon Moxley from behind. So they're doing this whole thing still with the Don Callis family and Death Riders. But yeah, I wonder what's gonna happen, because what if something happens where Death Riders get tired of this and just say, you know what, we don't want to fight this war no more. Jon Moxley, you're on your own. So for now, he has backup. But how long is this gonna happen? Or maybe they do have his back. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, because no one really came out during this attack, which is weird. Usually they would have been on it, but later on the night, no, that's not worried because later on the night something happens. So yeah, well, Jon should be fine for now. All right, then we get a TNT Championship match. Mark Briscoe, there we go. Mark Briscoe and El Clon. And El Clon is the one who took out what's his name again? Jesus. Hologram. There we go. Took out Hologram. It took me a minute. I got it. So yeah. So like a good back and forth between the two, but I mean, look, I look Mark. So I guess we'll get to that. We'll get to that. That's why I'm hesitating. So we'll get to it. So key moment. He grabs a chair. He attempts to do a dive, and El Clon just grabs it and attempts to throw it at him, but he gets out the way. Then there was another moment where El Clon, I think he was gonna do a J Driller, and when he landed it, El Clon, I don't know if he landed on his head or if he ever did, but the way he just did like a backflip out of it, I was just like, how the hell did he do that? This guy, yeah, that was an amazing escape. I don't know how he did that, but that was amazing. But yeah, look, Mark wins anyway, and okay, this was good. So everything got. He got on the mic. Sorry, and he was basically saying that he was getting tired of the Don Callis family, right, coming after him. He wants somebody new, and as he's saying that, the lights go out, and I'm just like, okay, what's going on here? And then you get on the Tron, Psycho Killer, and I'm still like, who is this? Right? It's probably a debut. Definitely a debut, but who is it? And then all of a sudden, the song comes on, and then the silhouette of the person coming out, and I still can't make out who it is. And I'm just like, who is it? Then all of a sudden, it gets closer, and the lights the lights get on, and I'm just like, no freaking way Tommaso Ciampa is in AEW. And I'm just like excited because it's just like, I get to see Tommaso Ciampa I want him to be crazy. Look, he did well in WWE. Don't get me wrong. NXT was where he flourished. The main roster, he didn't really do much, unfortunately. So they wasted him there. But NXT, he was a freaking monster compared to what he was in the main roster. He was way better in NXT than he did. You get the point. So I hope they really just bring out this character with Tommaso. Yeah, he makes his way to the ring. I guess he lets it be known, I'm your next challenger, right? He goes up to him, lets him know before he gets out the ring, gives him a kiss on the cheek. Yeah, everybody was excited. Everybody was shocked. So, look, I hope they don't waste his talents there because, again, they have way too many wrestlers. So, don't forget about Tommaso, man. This guy, I don't know how long he's going to be doing this for, but please don't. And be careful with his neck as well, because there's a lot of history with that neck. Remember that. So don't go too crazy with his neck, please. Let's slow it down. And then we get a backstage segment with Kyle Fletcher and Kazuchika Okada, right? He apologizes to him about the whole screwdriver thing, and it's just like, I guess he apologizes to him. It didn't look like he wanted to accept it, but hey, I guess he just did it. So yeah, apology accepted. All right, then we get an MJF ring segment. All right, so he trashes Texas already, right? And before he can even say some more, Brody comes out, and MJF, he said, "Didn't I tell you? Maybe you didn't hear me." He said, "With them big ass ears." He just assaults him. He just keeps assaulting him, and it pisses him off, and he runs out the ring because he's about to approach. And MJF goes, let's talk like men, they get in the ring, and then he just starts going after all his allies. Like, remember, you were following No, he didn't say Aleister Black. Malachi Black. There we go. He said Malachi Black. Followed him around. Where is he now? Then he brings up Buddy, right? He brings up Buddy. He goes, how's his ankle doing, or ACL? I forgot which one. I forgot where he got hurt. I think it was his ankle. He's like, how's his ankle doing, huh? And then he says, he brings up Bandito. He's just bringing up everybody he's been allies with, and because MJF is a dick, and I love MJF. Again, if you guys don't realize, I am a big MJF fan. I love MJF. It's my favorite character in AEW. But despite all that, Brody King just let MJF know that he had a conversation with Tony Khan, and they're going to have. He basically just had a meeting with him, say, about who his opponent's gonna be, and they both came up with a great idea, and they agreed that it'll be MJF versus Brody King for an eliminator match, and if he wins, I guess he'll see him in Australia. Yeah, I think I got that right. So next week we'll get that match, and then we'll get the title match if Brody wins in Australia. And MJF is furious. He did not like that, and he was pissed. So yeah, we had that. All right, and we get Kris Statlander versus Thekla. I don't know why they booked this match so early. Maybe they should have waited to like Australia to do this, or Revolution. But hey, I don't know why they did it so early. But yeah. So Kris Statlander goes for the handshake, and instead Thekla goes for the slap. Obviously, she's not gonna shake her hand. Thekla don't respect the girl, because during the match, so she spits at her. All right. During that match, and it's just like, Thekla, can you stop spitting on people? Can you stop spitting at cameras? She's ridiculous. Stop doing that. It's disgusting. But yeah, again, towards the closing of the match, there's a lot of back and forth between the two, right? Towards the end, Thekla was hitting her with everything, like hitting her with spears. I was gonna say spears, but it was only one spear. Come on now, one spear, right? She hits her with a spear. She hits her with not hits her with it, but she puts her in a submission, right? And that's when I think she spits on her afterwards. And then she hits her with the stomp. And I thought it was over, but it was just like, no, she kicked out. And I'm like, okay, she kicked out of everything and got out of that submission somehow. And yeah, it was just a lot that Thekla was hitting her with, and Kris was not giving up. And then she hits her with that power bomb, and then hit her with the night fever. 1, 2, 3. Again, should have waited to like Australia or like Revolution. I don't know, but yeah, they booked the match. It's done. Maybe you do a rematch soon. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. That was kind of wasted to me, but maybe I'm the only one that feels that way. You let me know in the comments. Then we have a Don Callis backstage segment. He has Kyle and Konosuke behind him, and he's basically saying Andrade is valid. He's definitely going after the world title, and he wants Kyle to go after the TNT title, Konosuke go after the Continental title, and Okada has the international title, so he's going to retain there, right? So, retain that belt. So he wants all the belts in his family. He mentioned Jack Doyle and Mark Davis going after the tag team titles. So yeah, he says all the family members are gonna have all the belts, right? Not all the family members, but I get what he was saying. All his guy, he'll have all the belts basically in his possession, in his family. I don't think it's gonna work that way, Don. But in the back, you could tell these two are like looking at him and like making faces and stuff. So there's definitely some cracks in the family right there. So, because I know when he walks away, Konosuke asks Fletcher, he goes, "Did you forgive Okada?" And he goes, he didn't. I guess he didn't want to, but I guess he had to, because Don is like really manipulative, and he's like, "You guys gotta get along." But that's what happens when you bring so many wrestlers into a group. You have all these men down. You can't control all these men. They're going to have egos, right? You have a bunch of egos in that group. And then you have some who's going to respect others, but then you have others who just see right now the cracks are right there. Ikonoski walks away when Kyle Fletcher goes, you know, he walks away. He didn't want to hear that answer. So that's what I'm saying by you have the crack going on. So soon, I don't know, you're going to have a couple of people who's going to stay in that family, but some are going to leave, right? It's going to be a whole war because you keep bringing in people. I don't know. You're going to forget someone in that group. Someone's going to get kicked out or I don't know. A lot going on there. Then we get another backstage segment with Ricochet, right? So basically they have Jack Perry, right? On the floor. So he's just like basically saying, "Oh, you're coming after my title." You know, where is maybe he had another injury again? I'm not too sure. Luchasaurus, I don't know what happened. Maybe he has another injury. I'm not too sure what's going on. I forgot. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember what happened with him. And yeah, they're beating him down. They're throwing him all over the place. And every time he's just trying to reach for Ricochet, he's like, "Whoa, oh!" They beat him up some more. Then at one point they have him like a crucifix, right? They have him just hanging there. He just looks like Jesus for a second. Like seriously, he looked like Jesus. And he's like looking down at Ricochet, and Ricochet's like, "Yeah, boom!" And they you know slam him into the table, and he's just like, "Ha, you know, you know, that's what you get for coming. You think you're gonna come after my title, you know?" And yeah, we end that right there. So pretty soon we'll be getting that match. But damn, they beat the bricks off that boy. And where is Luchasaurus? Please, somebody remind me in the comments because I don't remember. And if he did get hurt again, where is his backup? Because yeah, he has two big guys to worry about, and then you have Ricochet, the ultimate asshole. So yeah, maybe they'll do this at Australia, maybe a Revolution. I don't know when we'll get this match, but yeah, hope he's all right. All right, then we get the AEW Tag Team Championship match. We get FTR versus Jake Doyle. There we go, and Mark Davis. They were dominant. They were showing their dominance in this match. Like they were throwing them everywhere. These guys on they're like super badasses, right? They're just kicking the absolute shit out of them and throwing them, tossing them, picking them up, just throwing them everywhere. These guys are like super, super jacked and ridiculous. I can't wait to see the Hurt Syndicate versus these guys because it's going to be a hard-hitting big men slapping men meat, you know, against each other. It's gonna be crazy. So I can't wait till Bobby Lashley comes back. And Shelton's just been I don't know, ever since Shelton had that match with Jon Moxley, now he's just been in the shadows, and it's just like I don't know how hurt Bobby Lashley is, but let's bring these guys back, and I want to see these two in a match because it'll be very hard hitting for my pleasure. I want to see these guys beat the crap out of each other. But yeah, so they lose. Jon Moxley, again, like remember what I said earlier, he gets his lick back. Payback. That's what that means. He gets his payback. He hits was it Davis? I think he hits Mark with the title when the ref wasn't looking. Oh yeah, because I think Wheeler Yuta got on the top rope and he just wham right in the face. And then that gives the opportunity for FTR to hit the Shatter Machine. 1, 2, 3, and it's done. So yeah, you guys attacked him. So yeah, he retaliated, and he had the Death Riders with him. That's why I said, don't worry, he's still good for now. For now, I don't know how long they'll be around for, but I mean, he's still. I wouldn't say he's still acting like a heel, but he's definitely heading there, and the rest of the group is still bastards. But I don't know. I guess it flows with him because he's still a badass. You know what I'm saying? So he's not really a fully baby face heel kind of guy right there. But Jon Moxley's still Jon Moxley. But yeah, they win that match. Then we get a backstage segment with Renee Young with Orange Cassidy, and basically she was asking him about I guess they're having a tag team match, right? Oh no, he was talking about Yuta. Sorry, he was bringing up Yuta, like he changed up. He's definitely different. And then Yuta was just out there, right? How the hell did he get to Orange Cassidy so quick after all of that? Like, he literally probably saw him on the Tron and just said, I'm going up to him, and just ran, probably just to get to him. And Marina Shafir was out there also, and she got there. And I think she was about to hit him, or she grabbed him, and then Tony Storm comes in and just, get your hands off him. And things are heating up between the four, and they had to break them up. And then you see Tony and Orange, they get into their little to the ballet dance, and they're just doing that as they're breaking them apart, and they're like getting out of camera frame doing that. I'm just like, these guys, I don't know, whoever thought about putting them together, kudos to you, because that was hilarious. I really loved it. It was hilarious. All right, main event time. Then we get Swerve Strickland versus Andrade El Idolo, right? That's how you say it. Yeah. Okay. Lot going on, right? The movesets they were doing, Jesus. I think they were doing like Hurricanranas against each other, trying to like, I don't know. They were like, they're Hurricanranas, right? They're doing it to each other one by one, and it was like one was reversing it into land into their feet. The other one does it, land on the feet. The other one does it, land on their feet, and they're just smiling. They're just like, and I'm just like, all right, definitely. I hope they do something on Andrade this time, because they wasted him, but just like WWE wastes him too. But I just hope he gets a break, man. Give something to Andrade. Let him. I like that he's in the world title picture. So yeah, it was looking really good. And then at one point, he goes outside. There's a planted woman out there. I'm pretty sure this wasn't just some regular woman out there. She had to be planted, right? I don't know who she is. If you guys know who she is, put it in the comments. But he goes up to her, gets a selfie. Then she gives him his number, and then he's like putting it in his back pocket, and then continues to beat up Swerve Strickland. I was like, I love this guy. I swear. Single Andrade is a freaking beast. I'm telling you. I love him. But yeah, towards the end, he gives Andrade a low blow. He gives himself a low blow. He gives Swerve a low blow. Jesus, he gives Swerve a low blow. I don't think the ref saw it. Yeah, he didn't see it. And then he wins, right? So he's going next week to face Kenny Omega in Las Vegas. So again, good thing we didn't forget about it, because he did attack him, and then the whole thing happened with his contract. But yeah, we're getting that match between those two, and let's see what happens. Let's see who gets on top of that. Depending on who is the other person who goes to Australia, I don't know who's gonna win. So this is a good one, Andrade and Kenny. And I think you have Brody, if he wins, with MJ, Hangman, right? We have a Hangman in the picture. So I feel like if Hangman is going to be one of the guys that goes to Australia, then maybe we'll do Andrade, right? And he'll take out Kenny. But maybe we could get a rematch between Kenny and Hangman. I don't know what they're going to do. Because after that win, right, we cut to MJF in an interview with Renee, and Kenny just comes in and tells him he's going after that title. And because first he brings up Brody, and he says, if Brody thinks he doesn't stand a chance. I can't even talk. He doesn't stand a chance against him, right? Then Kenny Omega comes in and tells him he's going after that title after he wins next week. Then he walks away. Then he runs into Andrade. And those of you who don't know, it was like this Twitter thing between these two. He's like, if I see you in the halls, I'll slap you. So they definitely was a work. They get to the angle where he runs into him and he goes, I want to slap you, but before I do that, I want your title. Then he just like looks upset and walks away, and he gets in the car. Before he's about to get in the car, you see a hand close the door, and it pans out to be Hangman. And then he just goes. Then he gets mad, get in the car, and he's like, drive, and be careful in that parking lot. That person, whoever was in that car, drove fast. They booked. Like, it was just out. And I'm just like, dude, this parking lot, relax. But yeah, that's how we end AEW. Again, yeah, it was a lot going on, a lot that they're setting up. Yeah, I like what they're building up to for this Australia show. Next week will be in Las Vegas, and yeah, we'll see what happens with all the outcome with all these contender matches and what went down. I think they said in Collision. Oh yeah, Tommaso and Mark is gonna fight in TNT fight in Collision for the TNT title. So unfortunately, I might not be able to catch that. I'm gonna be doing a live reaction for the Royal Rumble, and once I'm done, wow, it's gonna be a long one. So I'm gonna be doing that on TikTok. If you guys want to catch me for that, it's the same name and same logo on TikTok. J.Bullett Wrestling. You can find me on there. Easy. Same name, same logo. You'll find me. I do all my streams there first, and then I bring everything. Then I post it on YouTube. So those of you who don't catch it live on TikTok, you can see it on YouTube. I posted my Saturday night's main event on there. So just to get an idea what I do when I do the live stuff. And yeah, if you want to catch my other content, I do skits, funny skits on wrestling on there if you want to catch me on there as well. But yeah, I'm just trying to bring more fans onto one platform into the other one, because soon I want to do the live reactions for these pay-per-views over on YouTube. But for now, I have to do it on TikTok to build some fans and build some people over there, because again, I have a very small, again, I'm building this. I'm just starting. I got a very small number. So just to do it with like the number that I have, I rather wait till I at least get to a higher number. I'm not saying I need to get to like 1,000 or anything. At least if I can get like 50 people, maybe 100 will be good. If I get 100, I'll be fine with that. That's enough for me to interact with people, right? But yeah, go over on TikTok, watch that, and then I want to bring the people over to subscribe on YouTube. That's just how I'm doing it. And yeah, catch me Saturday. Well, I'll be posting my live reaction for SmackDown. And if I don't get a chance, it's because a lot is going on with me when I have to do stuff over the weekend on my days off. Again, I do work. So sometimes if I don't post, it's a reason why. I'm exhausted, tired, I do things. But yeah, I do the best I can. But yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Like and subscribe, and I see you.